Hi, I'm Phil Morrison and this is my GT1 inspired Murcielago project, and I've got an apology to make. I've been here a couple of days and I've only just picked up the camera. Nothing too exciting's happened just yet. I'm basically just trying to work out how the hell I can get Recaro pole positions in here. As you can see, I've started removing quite a lot of interior already, right down to pulling this away, the heat insulation, sound insulation there. The issue with a Murcielago is that this is the gearbox, this is the transmission tunnel, and the engine sits behind it and the diff sits behind that again, so it's quite an unusual layout. But it basically means that the bell housing for the gearbox is right here and the bell housing is always the widest point. So that means that fitting seats, it's the absolute worst possible way around you could have a car set up. Basically the widest point of the transmission tunnel, needing to have the widest point of the seat in here. So I've tried that. It's currently no go. It's close. I've got it quite far over. I've actually even cut out the floor. I did this previously to see whether I could get the seats lower at all, because height in this is a massive issue as well. Basically, headroom at the top here for somebody who is 6'2", as I am, it's quite a challenge. It's okay, but you're a little bit cramped and the standard seats are super crap. And if you want to put a helmet on, go on track, yeah, good luck with that. You've got absolutely zero chance. So I'm trying to do my absolute best to try and make sure that I'm covered with all bases, and that's looking like either the seat or the chassis or both is going to have to start getting chopped. So that's where I'm at the moment. Just to show you exactly where it's hitting, this is the frame rail here, and this is the mount for the seat belt. And because it's a road car, it's going to retain standard seat belts. I don't mind moving that mount further along, sorting that out. But yeah, I'm just trying to work out whether I need to just see the point of contact just here. That looks like that's where that boss is on that brace, but it actually needs to go over a good couple of inches there. So I think the bottom of the seat, a corner of it, is going to get cut out like this. I've checked, I've sat in it. I have to have no cushion in it at the moment to get even slightly low enough. But I've sat in it and there is a little bit of a void between my arse and the inside of the seat there. So if I did need to cut this and remake it and reinforce it, it would possibly work. I haven't really shown you the state of the interior because it's pretty bad. I'm not going to show you too close because it's, absolutely disgusting. But we have a lot of work to do here, and I'm going to need somebody's help to retrim. I'm going to retrim the dash, possibly some of the door cards, and probably the seats as well, even though they're really nice already. I'll probably do an Alcantara finish on them and match that with a lot of the interior as well. But part of the reason why I'm doing this now is because there's a good chance that this part, which I've removed, was a lot of fun to remove, there's a good chance that that won't be going back in, or if it does go back in, it's not going to be going back in complete. So obviously there'll be some cutouts for seat clearance and stuff if it does go back in at all. I think it will. I think it should, because I've got some nice carbon bits, sort of surround for the shifter and everything like that as well. So it'd be nice to still be able to use those. But yeah, if anybody has any suggestions of not ridiculously priced, because yeah, believe it or not, there is a budget on this, but somebody who is, pretty decent trimmer that would be interested in getting involved with this project. I even thought about whether I should possibly contact the Retro Power guys, because I like what they do. Really enjoying their channel at the moment. Well done with that, guys. So yeah, that was yesterday's job, just a few hours. It is absolutely freezing in this place. We're in the process of if you look here, I'm actually going to create a little divider somewhere across here and see whether we can actually throw a bit of heat into this side. Even though it's a single skin roof in this building, which basically means all the heat just disappears, it hopefully will just take the edge off for Jay. I mean, I'm only in here sort of 5% of the time that Jay is, and he's a trooper. He's absolutely fine with it. He says it's no problem. He'll just wear more clothes. But yeah, doesn't seem right, so I'm doing what I can to throw a bit of heat in the building, make it a little bit nicer of a working environment. So on to today's project. Wheels, still got the ADV ones on the back, still got the Work M1R on the front, still absolutely love these, but it is time now to fit the 3SDM wheels. And you may notice there's 4 boxes with wheels in them, and there's 2 wheels here. So I don't think I've updated you guys on YouTube. Those of you that follow me on Instagram will probably already know that when I unboxed these, the rears I absolutely loved. The fronts I had a little doubt in my mind as to whether they were absolutely perfect for the car and whether they'd look right. I decided to get back in touch with 3SDM. Dylan there, who's absolutely superb. And oh, that's one of the rears, just to remind you how absolutely crazy the rears are. I got back in touch with Dylan, and one of the first things that we spoke about, I'll show you the fronts actually, the ones that we unboxed, just to remind you. Oh, another rear, damn it. There we go. It's one of the fronts, and it's really nice. It's sort of in keeping with the rear design there. But I just felt like it was a little bit too flat-faced looking, and because it's a 3-piece wheel, it just, I don't know, it just didn't appeal to me exactly as I'd hoped. And had I not had these on the car, which I absolutely love, the Work M1R, then I probably would have been absolutely fine with these. But I decided that I'd request from Dylan that we try and look at making a 1-piece version of this design wheel in a forged monoblock to basically make it more like the Works design. And here's what we ended up with. And these I am super happy with. They look absolutely incredible. I've got new Michelin P4S's on there, which are basically the perfect road tyre. Rears, I'm going to actually just pull the tyres off the ADV ones that I've got on here. They're 345, 25, 20s. They're old and slightly plasticky. Pirellis, I think. So I figured I'd just put those on for now because I need to see obviously if there's any interference issues on the arches. But equally, maybe burnouts when it gets running, who knows. So yeah, I'm just going to take those off those wheels, put them onto these ones and see what they look like. I forgot to say, jacking up is a interesting exercise on this, very interesting. With the diffuser in place, it's almost impossible. So what I've had to do, if you look underneath here, so you can see it's actually kind of on the diffuser there, but underneath, I don't know whether you'll be able to see, is one of the main beams at the back here. So all I've done is got a tape measure, measured from the diffuser down to that bar, put it on the underside, made sure I've got the jack in the right place and jacked it up. I've also now marked this so I know exactly how far I need to push the jack in into the diffuser to get it in the right place. So yeah, that was a fun little experiment, but yeah, we're up in the air now. See something that's a super faff. I went for some hidden valves on this. That's what the bit that goes in the wheel looks like. Basically, this is what is on the inside of the barrel, on the inside of the wheel itself. So this is where you fill from. The rest of this bolts from the back, so these nuts are on inside where the tyre is seated. And this is just a cap. So it's very fiddly. You've got to have like a coin or a very short screwdriver to be able to undo this, and I can foresee that being something that's an issue in the future. The cap comes off. There is the valve itself, and here's the bit that you have to remember, you have to carry with you at all times, and that screws into there temporarily, and that's where you fill from there. So there's a couple of problems. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to remove the wheel every time to do this because where this is mounted, which is the only place it could have really been mounted, is exactly where the brake caliper will pass past it. So that's why this is literally, once that's screwed in like that, so everything above this point here and above, that's the only bit that's exposed on the wheel, and it's on the inner barrel, just about here, which you can reach through a spoke maybe, but not while the brake caliper's there. So maybe there's a small possibility that if you orientated the wheel and it's not next to the caliper, it's kind of 90 degrees around, 180 degrees around for it, maybe there's a chance that that'll go in. But yeah, we'll have to see, and I can already see me getting fed up with what a faff this is. It was my choice though. There, you can see that's with the cap removed. So hopefully, I'll just grab this, which I should probably see whether I could buy another 24 of, and that just goes into that valve like that. And then hopefully boom! As Simple as that. Two swanky wheels. Before I put these on, I should probably mention that, I'm not sure I've said it before, I asked the guys at 3SDM to actually add 15mm of extra material to the face, to the mounting face of the wheel here, where it meets up against the hub. And that basically is so that I can tune the offset if required. I'm going to mount these up to the car. If they are a little bit too pokey, I'll basically unmount the tyres, send them back to 3SDM. They'll stick the centres back on the CNC machine, and they'll basically take whatever offset I need out of this. Also obviously had the taper in the other side of the wheel made with the same amount of length, additional length to it. So if you were to do this on a normal wheel and try and surface, if you were to take 15mm off the face of a normal wheel, you would basically be well into the tapers on where your wheel nuts mount. So thought ahead and remember to ask for those to be extended as well. So there'll be no problem if I do need all of that meat taking off, it'll still mount correctly on the tapers of the wheel nut. So yeah, let's just get them on now. And yes, in my overexcitement, I have completely forgotten to fit the centre caps, which need these little grub screws doing up from the back. Bollocks. Tight. Too tight. So yeah, those look phenomenal, but yeah, they need some of that offset taken off. Let's do the fronts anyway. Don't look, nothing to see here. Not at all sketchy. This thing is now officially almost impossible to jack up. So yeah, have to get a little bit creative. I'm hoping that once I get the hydraulic lift connected up, so I've got these KW HLS lift units on the coilovers, and I've plumbed them into the standard system. I've just got to bleed it. I've got to check all the fittings, bleed it, and then to use it I have to be able to start the engine. So I've got to make sure that after a year everything's right with the engine before I go and do that. So for now, yeah, a little bit of sketchiness. Fronts look perfect. Oh, they will once I've sorted out the front suspension and got the ride height a little bit lower. Not going crazy on the front. I do want this to still work, as in suspension still work. And yes, I'm fully aware it is already stupidly low. But yeah, just want to tweak that, maybe 5mm, something like that, down, and that'll be perfect. The rears, as I expected, have to go back for some machining on that back face that I talked about. They look obviously absolutely incredible, but yeah, they're a little bit too tight here, and we're already running sort of pretty aggressive camber on this. For such a wide tyre, 345 tyre, 2 degrees is really you know, the absolute limit for a road car. It's probably more than I'd really want to run, but that's fine. I'm happy running 2 degrees as long as I've got good arch clearance, because the last thing that I want is these things ploughing into those arches that Gaz spent months of his life on. So yeah, very happy overall. But yeah, I've got to quickly demount these, get them back off to 3SDM. They'll do some more machining on the back and get them back to me. And yeah, then that will be its wheels done and dusted. So that'll probably do it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you're a new subscriber, make sure you've got that stupid bell thing ticked, clicked, whatever. Otherwise it doesn't notify you of anything. Shouldn't be too long until the next one, hopefully, because obviously I'm pretty damn excited about getting this thing together. I think the next one that you'll possibly see will be, it'll be filmed after the new year, because currently it's New Year's Eve here, and I'll probably be using some of Jay's skills. So yeah, see you next time.